I think you hit the nail on the head with this brilliant point, because most of this, there's been this argument that they are mere placeholders. And the people who put them there so that they will never be able to actually challenge them or, take decisions on their own. This is profound and how sad. Chief, President Tinubu, by his conduct, his actions since coming into office, has he unwittingly or wittingly strengthened or weakened democratic culture in Nigeria? And a rider to that is, the use of insecurity, as a tool, declaring of state of emergency, for instance, in Rivers State, or using anti-corruption agencies. Is he also using those, to, as it were, cower, governors and all of that? But by and large, is this strengthening, or has this strengthened or weakened democratic culture in Nigeria?
Let me give you a very quick story.
Yeah.
So many years ago, I was arrested by the police. As I was going for a wedding event. I was arrested. I was to be the chairman of that wedding event. I was detained from Friday till Monday morning. And I begged them very profusely that I'm the chairman of that event, to please let me go. They did not. When eventually they released me on Monday morning, I was going straight to go to Ghana for a chamber. I was living in Lagos then, to go and institute a very powerful suit against them, because there was no good reason for arresting me. On my way to Ghana chamber, in fact, I was parking my car in Ghana's place when I received a call from my people. Where are you? We've been looking to find out where you were. Thank God you didn't come to the wedding. There were 2 people who came with a gun looking for you in that wedding. So if I was not arrested, I would have come to a wedding where some 2 people who came with a gun to look for me, who don't know the purpose for which they came. Fubara should go and greet and thank the president. We are those who believe that the president didn't have powers to remove him. But the laws of necessity sometimes tend to outweigh some other laws. His removal there brought peace seemingly peace to Rivers. He would have been impeached, certainly.
But has it achieved the objective? Is there peace in Rivers?
Seemingly peace. Before, it was a really war situation.
Exactly.
But today we have a no peace, no war, which is a better position than what it used to be. Before, they were shooting us on the streets. Houses were being pulled down. And there was no governance in Rivers State. So now, with what Tinubu did, though some of us believe he didn't have powers to do that, but that saved the day. So sometimes you will see that an action, though may not be legitimate, serves a purpose, very strong purpose. Tinubu have taken very, 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 very commendable steps in some areas. For example, the removal of the subsidy. But you see, he took that step the day he was being sworn in. There was no government in place. There were no cooling effects. There were no necessary instrumentality that will hold on to that decision. There was no government. So, good decision at the wrong time. And don't forget, you are making a decision to Nigerians. There are those who make efforts to circumvent it. There are those who have been feeding through that lousy arrangement, that they will do everything possible to make sure that they do not let it work. I was in government college some years ago. Let me not mention the school in government college. We had pit latrine. Pit latrine. Somebody had a contract to removing not pit, the one they remove the buckets. So a contractor was doing that. But we had a principal who wanted to put in something more modern, water system. First of all, he drilled a borehole, built some water system, toilets and latrines. Those who were benefiting from the pit latrine gathered some students to carry placards that the pit latrine was more comfortable. Wow. So usually the beneficiaries of reforms are the beneficiaries of reforms are the ones who will either go either way. Exactly. Those who are losing from reforms will oppose reforms. But those who are benefiting from it will be on the side of the reforms. That is what we have in Nigeria today. As for the issue of taxes, I wish this taxation comes after now. Now we have poverty. There are some parts of the reforms, the tax reforms, that I enjoy very well. It actually digitalizes the tax processes, which is beautiful. If that's only what we have benefited from it, lovely. A digital form of taxation and also assessment and enforcement digitally. We didn't have that before. Secondly, it enlarges the bracket. The tax net is massively enlarged. But there's something most people don't know. It even gives massive break to those who are earning lowly, and they're not emphasizing that area. I don't know who the handlers of the publicity, if they had properly put the people to understand that, yes, we are enlarging the net, but the poorer people are going to benefit more. But the idea we have today is that we are having massive taxes even for the poor people. That's not what it is. It ought not to come now. You come, you bring it in at the right time. So it's a nice thing, but at the wrong time. And also those who are handling the publicity of the tax reforms are not doing a good job. Ordinarily, you should have emphasized the benefits, the enormous benefits of letting those who are earning at some level of poverty level, giving them leverages. And also, the informal sector is not being covered. Only the formal sector that is properly being covered by the existing laws.
Chief, if I hear you very well on this reverse debacle, you don't mind the president going outside the realm of the constitution to achieve, the objective of maintaining peace, because that's what it amounts to.
That's what happened.
That's what happened.
So as much as we criticize it not being legal, it's have the good purpose to serve the people.
But the risk is that the Supreme Court conferred, legality on it, sort of, by saying the president has the powers, and some are highly intellectuals, even professor of law, some of them have said, that I spoke to have said, that decision of the Supreme Court was perverse, because you have now made the president, as it were, to become above the constitution. In fact, a guest such as yourself sat here and said, the president has been coronated a king. So this recourse to extra, legal, style or means of achieving objectives, is that not a danger to the republic itself?
Today, one of the biggest problems we have in the country that has threatened everything, both from democracy to our existence, is the judiciary. Our judiciary is very corrupt, extremely corrupt. And it's not me saying that. These are members, these are lawyers saying that. These are members in the temple of justice that are saying that the biggest problem we have today is the judiciary. It's unfortunate. Where everybody has to run to for justice. Today, justice is in jail. And that's very unfortunate in Nigeria.
I mean, what you said is so profound, because if you and I have a misunderstanding now, what you say now in Nigeria is you have your own judge, you have your own court, your judge, and I also have my own court and judge, and maybe they have coordinate jurisdiction. And I mean the ordinary judicial process or procedure is that courts of coordinate jurisdiction don't entertain cases where your brother judge is also entertaining. It's only a higher court that can entertain.
The sad thing is that we have the National Judicial Commission, whose job it is to make sure that doesn't happen. If I'm in charge, for example, and a judge in a high court entertains a matter that is in another high court, or another high court judge has issued judgment, and you entertain that matter, you won't be a judge in that from the first instance. You will not be a judge in that. So, if you have a situation where there is no deterrent, people do all kinds of things. The National Judicial Commission have not shown enough deterrent against erring judges, and that is what is causing this problem. Some of the erring judges have the comfort of protection from those who are in government that they have given favorable judgments to, and then who they seek favors from. They seek enormous favors from. That has created an enormous problem for us in the judiciary. It ought not to be that. Judiciary ought to be the place where everybody else will seek solace. But today, It is unfortunate. It is very sad.